In the quiet fields of Elbert County, Georgia, a strange monument rose from the red clay in 1980. Massive granite slabs, taller than a two-story building, appeared almost overnight. Locals called them America's Stonehenge. But unlike ancient ruins, these stones carried a chilling message. Carved not in one, but in 8 modern languages. The words etched into the Georgia guidestones would go on to spark decades of mystery, debate, and conspiracy theories. Who built them? Why? And what secret purpose did they serve? The story begins in June of 1979, when a well-dressed stranger walked into the Elberton Granite Finishing Company. He introduced himself with a curious pseudonym, R.C. Christian. He claimed to represent a small group of loyal Americans who wanted to leave a message for future generations. What kind of message? One that would guide humanity after a catastrophe, possibly even the end of the world. Christian insisted on complete anonymity. Even decades later, no one would ever reveal his true identity. The only thing we know? He had deep pockets, and he wanted something built that would last for thousands of years. The granite slabs were quarried locally, each weighing tens of tons. When completed, the monument consisted of 4 tall standing stones, a central pillar, a capstone, and additional marker stones. Altogether, it stood nearly 20 feet tall. Aligned with remarkable precision, the structure incorporated features of ancient astronomical observatories. Openings in the stones aligned with the sun, the stars, and the moon, making the guidestones part calendar, part compass, part clock. To locals, it was baffling. Why would someone go to such lengths, spending what was estimated to be hundreds of thousands of dollars only to remain anonymous? But the real shock came from the inscriptions. On the massive granite faces were 10 guiding principles written in 8 languages: English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. The most controversial line read, "Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature." Other messages included, "Guide reproduction wisely," "Unite humanity with a new living language," "Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason," "Protect people and nations with fair laws," "Balance personal rights with social duties," "Be not a cancer on the earth." To some, these sounded like noble ideals, a vision of peace, environmental stewardship, and unity. But to others, they read like a blueprint for global control, even mass depopulation. Almost immediately, the guidestones became a magnet for speculation. Some believed they were commissioned by secret societies, the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, or even the Illuminati. The pseudonym R.C. Christian was seen by many as a wink to Christian Rosenkreuz, the mythical founder of the Rosicrucian order. Others tied the monument to the Cold War. With nuclear tensions at their peak, perhaps the guidestones were meant as a survival manual for a post-apocalyptic world. But for critics, the first commandment, reducing humanity to 500 million, overshadowed everything else. With the world population in the billions, that would mean wiping out over 90% of humanity. To conspiracy theorists, this was proof of a sinister agenda, a so-called New World Order. Over the years, the stones were vandalized, defaced, and even labeled by some as satanic. Yet for others, they remained a haunting work of public art, one that dared to ask unsettling questions about humanity's future. Despite investigations, the mystery only deepened. Who paid for it? The Elberton Granite Company owner who handled the project admitted that R.C. Christian used an alias, but honored his request for secrecy. Contracts and legal documents were sealed away in a local bank. Even those directly involved claimed they never knew the man's real identity. This cloak of secrecy only fueled the fires of speculation. Was it a wealthy philanthropist, a doomsday cult, or something even bigger? a shadowy organization pulling strings behind the scenes. For more than 40 years, the Georgia Guidestones stood as one of America's strangest landmarks. But on July 6, 2022, everything changed. At around 4 a.m., security cameras captured an explosion that shattered part of the monument. One of the 4 main slabs was destroyed instantly. For safety, officials quickly demolished the remaining stones later that same day. Just like that, the Georgia Guidestones were gone. In an instant, 4 decades of mystery crumbled into dust. The destruction sparked global headlines. Some mourned the loss of a unique cultural landmark. Others celebrated, claiming an evil monument had finally been taken down. And still others were left with more questions than ever. Who blew it up? And why? Today, the Georgia Guidestones exist only in memory, photographs, and endless debate online. Were they a harmless message of wisdom for future generations, a doomsday manual, or a symbol of secret agendas lurking in the shadows of power? What we do know is this: they forced people to confront uncomfortable ideas about population, environment, faith, and governance. Whether you saw them as utopian or dystopian, their presence made people think about humanity's destiny. And maybe that was the point all along. So, what do the Georgia Guidestones really mean? Were they the vision of a hopeful future, or a chilling warning from hidden hands? And now that they've been destroyed, what lessons should we take from their rise and their fall? The mystery of the Guidestones endures, and perhaps that's exactly how their creator intended it.